Okay, hello, my name is Martin. I'm pretty sure we can all agree that college isn't the cheapest thing. And especially living in California where it's considered one of the most expensive states in the US, college is definitely not a benefit. And my topic is free community college. And my main claim is gonna be free community college will have an economic benefit to the minority group who live in California. My secondary claims are free community college provides affordability to minority families. My second claim is free community college provides access to jobs that are essential to live in California. For my first claim, my first point is, according to California Senate Office of Research, Latinos have a median household income of $47,000 compared to the median household of an average Californian, which is $68,000. And out of all of the Californians, 14% of them live in poverty, and the Latinos, 20% of them live in poverty. And the average cost for attending community college, according to CaliforniaCollege.ed, is $3,000 per year. Assuming that a student graduates in 2 years, it's going to be a total of $6,500. But there are some cases where it takes 3 years of community college, which is going to be around $10,000. Looking at these statistics, we can come to a conclusion that some Latinos cannot afford a higher education due to their economic status. And a lot of Latino families do not consist of one child. They have a variety of child, and they would have to pay for every single kid. So let's say that they go to community college for 2 years, they would have to pay, depending on how many kids, it would be $6,000 per kid. And my second supporting point is, according to Hetcher report, states have cut the funding they provide to public colleges per student by 21% since the economic collapse in 2008, and have raised tuition by 28%, which is not helping the low-income minority groups. As public colleges become more expensive, it's harder for low incomes to finish a degree. Most of them drop out because they can't sustain a part-time job and go to college at the same time. And in many states, those students are African Americans and Latinos. And in California specifically, Latinos make up the majority of the minority group. And if we add up the Latino population with the white population, 17% of that population is going to be Hispanics with degrees, and 51% is going to be whites with degrees. So you can see that there's a difference between the two percentages, and in most cases that's because whites tend to have a higher income than Latinos. And for my second supporting claim is free community college provides access to jobs that are essential to live in California. The employment rate in California surpasses the nation's unemployment rate. According to BLS, California's unemployment rate is 5.2%, while the nation's unemployment rate is 4.7%. Jobs are looking for employees with higher education, and minority families tend not to go to college or community college. And nowadays, a high school diploma offers only a minimum wage job. It doesn't offer anything higher than that. So if community college is free, then a lot of minority groups will have access to college, which leads to a degree. And my next point, that degrees, according to pay scale, a community college degree can shoot up to $100,000 a year, depending on which field you study. And a high school diploma only goes up to $30,000, which is like the minimum. And like I stated before, California is in the top 5 most expensive states to live in. And most of the minority families are worried about rent, medical expenses and clothing, food expenses, so they don't have they don't have money to be wasting on education as much. And to sustain a living in California, residents must have a minimum salary of $70,000, and you can only obtain that much salary if you get a degree, which is why free community college should be. That's why California should have free community college. And to conclude my debate, my main claim was free community college will have an economic benefit to minority groups who live in California. And my two supporting claims were free community college provides affordability to minority families, and free community college provides access to jobs that are essential in California. Thank you.
All right, well, the proposition stated clearly. You've got a preview of 2 points, and I can see that you've got 2 points in the speech, but actually it looks like 3 points because you've got a second point before you get to your second point. So the way you've substructured that first point is a little bit confusing, and that's problematic. There's some good statistical information about what the averages are when it comes to income by ethnic group. I thought you had good information there. The link between lack of access to community college and the cost, though, is largely assumed, and there's a whole variety of material here that I'm not sure has been considered. So I think that there are some presumptions that you've built into your argument that need to be documented a little bit more. The cost, for instance, of attending community college, even if I'm willing to accept the $3,000 a year estimate that you've got there, where's the stuff that says that they can't get that $3,000 if they are economically hindered? There are a variety of sources of money for people who are in those situations. I don't mean to jump on this. I'm not trying to be an advocate for the opposite position, but I teach at a community college, and I would say probably 2/3 of my students don't pay any fees when they come to the community college because their fees are waived. So it's one of those things where you're talking about they don't have access. I'm going, okay, because of what? Because they can't afford books or something like that. Don't they have resources to get those sorts of things? And there's no discussion of what the financial assistance and resources are. And I think that's a big answer to this argument that says, it's free. And by the way, when you say free, somebody's paying for it. So then the question becomes, do the people who are paying for it, does that have an impact? Since your second argument is about access to jobs, for example, if the cost of providing free access is going to be substantially great, that could have an impact on the economy of the state of California, which might discourage people from producing jobs and that sort of thing. So I think there's a little bit, there are a lot of arguments involved here that don't get touched on. There are presuppositions that are built in here. But I did like I said, there's good statistical information in the presentation. And I thought that you did a good job on that. The presentation is a little bit slow and dry. Your explanations, though, are reasonably clear, and you guys have all been very patient listening to that last speech. I appreciate that. Don't forget that we're doing the midterm on